What is up, guys? It's Gross here, bringing you guys a review, anime review for Fate/Stay Night, season 1 and 2. I actually was recording this earlier, but my batteries died, and I actually had to cut the recording, so I'm recording this all over again. To apologize, my voice sounds a bit weird, just because I've been working all day, and I'm very, very tired. If you guys do like this kind of stuff, feel free to drop a subscription down below. That would be awesome, and drop a like. That really helps me out. I'm going to get right into this, because I know I'm going to be rambling on for a while. There's a lot to go over with this anime. Just before I hop into it, there's going to be a lot of spoilers, so if you do not like spoilers, click off this video. If you do planning on watching this and listen to what I have to say, I'm pretty much going to explain pretty much the whole story behind this and what happens in this, the whole thing. It's actually the first time I actually watched anime in 1 week as well, so I pretty much just flew through this shit. Total of 24 episodes with an ending and an after ending, so that's very nice. You have your two main characters, which are basically Rin Tosaka, Rin Tosaka, which is the chick on the right. You have Shiro Emiya, which is the guy with the red hair on the left. And then you have Archer, which is actually mostly going to be Rin's servant. And you have Saber as well. Saber being right here. Saber, which is mostly throughout, it's going to be associated with Shiro, even though she's not really Shiro's servant most of the time. Pretty much found this anime out. I checked into it. I started with episode 1. I really pretty much just saw this at random, pretty much. I just clicked on one, I actually saw this. Started with episode 1. Really didn't really do too much to me. It really wasn't the best. But once I started getting into it, towards the beginning of episode 1, it really didn't make too much sense. I was like, oh, I don't know about this anime. But towards the end, you kind of started seeing what was happening. Basically, Rin actually makes a pact with Archer. There's a thing they're calling the Holy Grail War. So basically, the Holy Grail War, it grants wishes to whoever defeats. There's I think 7 or 8, usually 7 or 8 servants that can be made a pact with 7 or 8 other masters or mages. Basically, they're both the same thing. You can make a pact with those kind of servants. They do appear. They can be pretty much anybody. There's notable ones like you see a lot with like Archer. You see a lot of Saber, which are the servants. Yeah, you see a lot of Lancer. You also see a lot of I think Goliath. I think it is Goliath. I'm not quite sure if that's the right name. I know it starts with a G. Don't quote me on that. Basically, you get those guys. You either can kill the master or slash mage, or you can kill the servant, and they will no longer be able to participate in the war. Once you kill every other servant slash master, you're able to grant a wish and actually set up the Holy Grail and get yourself a wish if you do want it. And basically that's what all the other masters slash servants are in it for. Servants fight for the masters, and masters can also fight as well, just because they have mana, which is basically their magic ability, and they have different types of skills and stuff like that. First episode, you actually see Shiro actually in the school. Pretty much the highlight of episode 1 was Shiro actually in the school. At the wrong time, wrong place, wrong time. Basically, you see Lancer, who's actually fighting Archer. Lancer actually sees Shiro actually watching on from the outside. No outsiders are allowed to witness battles from the Holy Grail War. If they do, they must be killed. So he happens to see it. He ends up getting killed, and actually ends up getting revived by Rin with her special stone. Episode 2, you actually see the different point of view. You pretty much see it from Shiro's point of view. You kind of learn about him. He's a guy that helps pretty much everybody. He's very well liked. He's really doesn't have too much special about him. The only thing special that he does have at first is the ability to use strengthening. He can take like normal objects and make them tougher than they actually are. It's like a piece of paper, for example. It can make like an ordinary piece of paper like very, very strong. That's basically the only thing he really has going for him. On the other hand, you have Rin, or you have Tosaka, which it comes from a family of mages and magic. She's able to actually use magic to shoot like balls of like shadows and shit, and then powerful like stuff. So, which is very awesome. She's a complete badass, to be honest. She's very badass. They keep crossing paths with each other. Eventually, it comes down to if they cross paths again, Rin's actually going to kill Shiro and hunt him down and kill him. Problem with that is actually Shiro has pretty much no way pretty much to defend himself. The only thing he does have is Saber. Saber is his servant. He actually makes a pact with. Um, Shiro has nothing to really do. He cannot do shit towards like the end. He eventually, it really is interesting to see how he gets better over the span of the anime, season 1 and 2. First, he can just strength and stuff. He eventually gets better to where he can actually project stuff like swords and stuff like that, and he eventually makes it to where he actually has um, his own special moves and stuff like that towards the end. Comes to the point with that, and they actually end up making an alliance to kill this other master, which actually happens to be at the school. There's actually 2 other masters at this school, I think. So, the CEO of the school, and there's actually another one. I forgot his name, but basically his first servant got killed very easily. He went back to the pretty much the rule maker of the Holy Grail War, and actually ends up getting another servant, which is actually probably one of the most powerful servants ever. So he has that servant now. They hunt down Castor, fail to actually defeat Castor. They actually end up running into Berserker, which actually is controlled by a chick named Ilya. Basically a little girl. They're unable to actually defeat Berserker, and they actually end up walking away as a draw, so they get very lucky there. Skip a bunch of time. They actually pretty much track down Castor, and they track down them again. They find out that they're actually stealing everybody's life force and using it for themselves. I kind of have to go through this fast because my screen's about to die, but take all the life force, they're actually using it for themselves. They really don't want like that people, they're getting outsiders involved in the Holy Grail War, so Rin and Shiro are actually team up against Castor again. This is where I actually find Samurai. Samurai is actually being led by Castor, by another servant, so she's actually breaking the rules here. She should not be allowed to do that. Her master does not know that she's doing all this. She's pretty much doing it behind its back at this point. They fail again. Archer actually ends up betraying Shiro and Rin, and Archer, what seems like at the time, pretty much betrays them and actually goes over to Castor's side. So now they have Assassin, Castor, and Archer going against these 2 guys and Saber. So they're really at a disadvantage here. Eventually turns out that Archer just went on his side to pretty much destroy Castor from within, and actually pretty much end up killing Castor when she was pretty much down at her lowest point. You also have relationship between Shiro and Emiya, or not Shiro and Ren actually developing. They slowly start to like each other, and they eventually go out on a date and stuff like that. Fast forward a while, they pretty much get to the point where Goliath actually ends up killing Berserker. Towards the end of season 2, ends up killing Berserker. Takes the heart out of Ilya and uses it as the core for the Grail. It comes to the point where Shiro has to learn Archer's ability, his special ability to defeat Goliath. Goliath cannot pretty much stand toe-to-toe him with close combat in like close quarters combat, so that's what he needs to use. You also have it at the point where Archer wants to kill Shiro. It does not happen. Archer actually ends up dying towards the end there. My screen's going to shut off, but I'm going to go on anyways. Fuck it. I do apologize for that, guys, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to go on black screen right here. Fucking DS. Fucking piece of shit. Just going to go on. You guys can tab out and listen to me. It's really nothing on the screen anyways. Pretty much you just go on. They're actually going to kill each other. Archer ends up dying. You have Lancer end up dying as well. Lancer is actually pretty much used via command seal to try killing himself. It does not work, and he actually ends up killing his master. They have Rin held hostage. They have Shiro held hostage. Shiro pretty much has to fight for his life against Archer, and you have Rin pretty much fighting for her life against Goliath and stuff like that. Lancer ends up dying himself after pretty much almost killing himself. He barely lives and he ends up dying anyways. So you have Lancer dying there. Before that, you had Castor die as well. I'm pretty much everywhere in this. I do apologize if I'm explaining very bad. I'm pretty much very, very everywhere. Very spotty when I explain. I do it no justice. If you want to watch it and you want to be 100% through and through on the explanation. Just watch the damn anime yourself. It's that fucking good. I do even put it higher than Akame ga Kill. At least here you have potential for a season 3 if they wanted to. Back with Akame ga Kill in one season and 24 episodes, they pretty much killed off all the characters to the point where they have no point in actually even making a third season or second season even. So, comes to the point, I'm pretty much going to spoil the end here because I have shit to do. Comes to the point where you have Goliath and Saber left. Everybody else is dead. Archer's dead, Lancer's dead, all those other servants are dead, so it's down to the last two servants and the last two masters. Rin actually ends up making a pact with Saber as a last-ditch effort. She actually ends up using her spells and actually ends up going up into the Grail to pull out Goliath's master, which is pretty much being used as the heart of the Grail. While that is happening, you have Shiro pretty much trying to kill Goliath, which he ends up doing. He actually ends up killing Goliath. The Grail actually ends up shutting down, and no wish is ever made again, and that actually ends the Holy Grail War, which pretty much comes to end. You have Rin still alive, you have Shiro barely still alive, but he's alive. They don't kill off the two main characters, which I really liked. They have potential for season 3 here, so I'm not quite sure if they're going to make a season 3. I don't know, this is like 6 or 7 years old anime already, but I'm pretty sure if they wanted to make a season 3, they already would have. But they still have the potential there. You have Saber end up dying because she actually uses her last Noble Phantasm, or her special move. She can only use it 3 times before she dies automatically. She uses her last time to pretty much get rid of the Grail, and she ends up dying. So all the servants are dead. You just have Shiro and Rin still alive. What I really like too is at the end they actually gave you a precursor at the end as well. They gave you into the future look at what happens with them. I think it was like either 6 months or it was 2 years. I saw saying in the video. I'm not quite sure what it was. One of those two, but eventually Shiro decides to actually stay with Rin. They're pretty much a couple at this point. They go to this one magic school to learn how to do magic and stuff like that. That's basically pretty much what I got from the last episode. And then towards the end of the episode, you see Archer in his wasteland, in the Death State, and actually saying a few things, and it actually ends up ending right there. So, definitely very good anime. If you guys want something to really watch and stuff like that, you can just pretty much watch this. It's very, very good. It had me hooked. Only anime I've actually ever watched in a week. Week flat. All the other ones, Death Note, Akame ga Kill, at least took 3 weeks. This one, flat out a week. Also, I'd like to mention the very, very good intro song. I think it's Brave Shine. Very, very good. Not as good as Death Note and Maximum the Hormone, but it's very damn good. I have to go see if that's actually on Spotify. But other than that, if you guys enjoy, I'm going to end it here. I've been rambling for a shitload of time now. Hopefully you guys just tabbed out. If you guys want more videos like this, there's actually, I have more videos like this on the channel with other Dimension W, Akame ga Kill, stuff like that, Death Note. Going to be watching Soul Eater. I think I'm going to either try watching Soul Eater. Mew Mew Transformation I heard was good. Clannad, I heard Fairy Tail was good, but it has like a shitload of episodes, so I don't think I'll be doing that one. A lot of different options I can do now, so other than that, I'm going to get out of here. See you guys next video. Peace.